We all know that Chris and Aloha love food so much. Hopefully you guys can catch some of these food puns I made in my speech. When I was 12, I knew that my sister and Chris were the perfect pair. I've heard them cupcake over the phone until midnight. And at times their conversations were a little cheesy. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me. My family and I wondered when they were finally going to get married. However, they kept saying, we can't elope just yet. But after a few more years of waiting, my sister finally called me and said, we have to talk about how Chris proposed.
We go to Disneyland all the time, but this one time I was really nervous about it. I was nervous because I was gonna ask Aloha to marry me. And I had the ring in my backpack the whole day, and I wanted to propose to her in front of the castle, but there was a lot of people.
So like every year for our anniversary, we always go to Disneyland, right? In the morning, he wanted to take a picture in front of, what's her castle? No, Sleeping Beauty's castle. And I'm like, okay, fine. And there was a line, and he was like, oh, never mind. Let's go on a ride.
So we went to another ride, which was Peter Pan, and we stood in line. I said, you know, it's empty. Let's go look over here. Let's go look at the Snow Whites. We rode more rides. I had the ring in my backpack the whole time.
Later on that night, we go back to the park and it's dark, and he was like, oh, let's take a picture in front of the castle again since it's night and it's really nice. So we went by Snow White's well, and then he was like, oh, do you have a quarter? And I was like, yeah, hold on. So I went in my bag and I gave him a quarter, and he was like, oh, throw it in the well and make a wish. He was like, just do it. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. What's the point?
I gave her a coin, I told her to make a wish, and she didn't want to do it whatsoever. I took her and took the coin. I said, if I make it right there, I'm going to give you something.
He took the quarter from me and he was like, I bet you, I'm gonna throw it in the well and it's gonna land on top of a nickel right there. He threw it in there and I looked, and in my head I'm like, so I turned around and I'm like, you're so dumb, it's not in there. And then he got down on one knee and said, Aloha Galimba, I love you. Do you want to marry me? And I was like, oh my God, I hate you. Okay, yes.
And Chris asked Aloha to cast a coin into Snow White's well in Fantasyland. She wasn't interested. So Chris, a bit frustrated at this point, tossed it in while she was distracted. He got down on one knee, asking Aloha to spend the rest of her life with him.
Aloha, I'm not much for words in a public place like this, so I'm just gonna make this short and sweet like you. Aloha, the love of my life, my forever Disneyland partner, my forever foodie partner who always eats my food.
I've called you my boyfriend for 10 years, my fiance for a year and a half, and now I get to finally call you my husband. It took me a long time to write my vows because I can't simply put how much you mean to me in several sentences. And also because every time I start my vows, I end up crying.
For Christian, he loves that Aloha is the most selfless person that he has ever met. There is nothing that she wouldn't do for him or his family. She is confident and speaks her mind. She works hard and always strives to achieve her goals, taking pride in everything that she does. Aloha is a part of him, and he cannot imagine his life without her in it. No matter what type of a day that she is having, Chris can always make her laugh and makes her feel like the most important person in the world. For Aloha, she loves that Chris accepts her for who she truly is, including all of her weird habits and obsessions. You'll find out more about these at the reception, I think.
When Chris asked me to be his best man, I actually didn't want to be his best man. I was actually offended to be his best man, because the best man doesn't do me any justice. I'm more than the best man. I wish there was a word that would describe me. Oh yeah, and him, of course. I started thinking of different words, but all I know is that I love him and he loves me. You know, we're like lovers. That's it. I'm gonna tell you right now, Chris and I are lovers. I love this man.
Chris, everyone can see how incredibly happy you make Aloha. When you guys are together, you bring out so much joy in her, and I can see her immediately at ease. You're going to be a great husband to her, and I know that the love you guys share will only grow. You are an excellent cook and have a great sense of humor, and I know that food and laughing are the two things that will make Aloha happy, and you are her happiness.
Love with you is my greatest adventure so far. You continually inspire me to become a better person, to never settle for less, to know my worth. I vow to love you wholeheartedly and to always be on your side, to listen to your days and to be your biggest cheerleader as well as your critic. And most importantly, to continue to tell you that I am in love with you every single day. So let's do it to it, Lars.
11 years ago, God blessed me with you, and I'm thankful every day, and I thank Him every day because of the person that you made me. You're the most selfless and caring person ever. You always put yourself before anyone else, and that huge smile you have is infectious to anyone that you stand around. I'm thankful today, as today is the first day of forever, the love of my life, and my best friend.